Alex was talking about Hitler.
I'm gonna regret saying this now since I brought it up.
Alex was talking about Hitler.
Because Ethan is deeply political. Ethan, question, here we go. When you think World War II, and you think bad shit, most people default to Hitler. Do you think if Hitler wasn't specifically targeting one type of person, and it was just like, it was just war shit, do you think people would have paid more attention to around the 9 million that Stalin killed?
I don't think the reason that Hitler is remembered more immediately as a bad guy isn't even necessarily because he just focused on the Jews, because he didn't. He also was wiping out black people and homosexuals. But he focused more on the Jews than the others.
If he was killing indiscriminately as a result of war rather than targeting specific types of people and races, do you think he would not be remembered as much? Because like historically looking back, it's like listen, if you're killing people, that's fine. You know, if you're doing it indiscriminately, you being kind of racist will fuck you forever. You know, like historically, I feel like that's how we look back on it.
Well, I think the fact that he's remembered as outright. I think Stalin's atrocities would come to mind more immediately, but Hitler would still be considered the bad guy of that time period, because the reason he's considered the bad guy is less because of, you know, the fact that he did a Holocaust, and more he did a Holocaust while also being the enemy, while we were allied with Russia.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If the Holocaust part didn't happen and it was him just basically like just warring with people over there.
No, of course not. We wouldn't care.
Yeah.
He would just because it's for the same reason that we don't hate Kaiser Wilhelm.
Who?
Like he was the guy in charge of Germany in World War I.
Okay, that's exactly my same point. I'm like, I know jack shit about World War I, aside from trench warfare, and I feel like it would have been the exact same way for World War II. Had the Holocaust and that shit never happened, it would just be like, oh yeah, this is that war, yeah.
It would have just been, you know? Well, I mean, it would have still been a horrible, like, atrocity of a time period because of the sheer amount of people who died in the war. But there wouldn't have been, like, if there was a, like, cartoonishly evil person to come out of that, it would have been Stalin, not Hitler.
Yeah. See,
but the thing is,
that's what I was thinking about too. Cause like,
the thing is, anyone who knows anything about history already, like, thinks that Stalin is cartoonishly evil.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was about to say some really stupid shit. I'm gonna say it anyways, though. Racism doesn't age too well. And you know what? I think I might put that on a t-shirt.
Fucking blow me down, Alex, does it not? Oh, sweet.
I don't know, like, that popped into my head, and I was like, that's the dumbest shit I ever thought of, but I still kind of want to say
Speaking of racism, I was reminded recently of
one of your friends who turned into a racist. Yes, go on.
No, actually. I was reminded of just a fun bit of history about Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War, the American Civil War, and why he wasn't willing to be, like, very openly, we're definitely getting rid of slavery, guys, for most of the Civil War. And one of the big reasons was, if you look at his letters in private, he was 100% an abolitionist and wanted to get rid of slavery. But there were two reasons why he couldn't say that publicly, or express his views as strongly as he felt them publicly. One is that it was the 1800s in America, and, like, most of the American population were white supremacists, so you can't really do that at that time. And another one is, he was afraid that if slavery became, like, ending slavery became his explicit goal, that the European powers would support the Confederacy.
Didn't Abraham Lincoln bang a black chick?
I don't know much about Abraham Lincoln's life.
Okay, because I thought he did. In which case, nice. But I don't know really what I thought was going beyond that.
you might be thinking about Thomas Jefferson, who had like one of his slaves. He took as a mistress, and he had multiple children with her, and did not free her when he died.
Yeah, maybe it was Thomas Jefferson. I don't.
Because Thomas Jefferson.
Well, what are those fucking historical figures, though? You know,
God got water gun.
Yep, you can
we
do
can
it.
We can go fight Ghastly now.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Because I'm like, he had to be close to getting. It's explicitly water gun first on like a water. Yeah. There's a water Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just it's just one of my just a thing, just a fact that I remembered. Was that even though England abolished slavery, and honestly a lot of the European powers abolished slavery well ahead of America, the European powers were still like more on the side of the Confederacy than the Union during the American Civil War. Even though they didn't get involved, purely because what we'd basically done was the douchiest way of getting rid of slavery ever. Where England specifically just went, well, we're not going to have slaves, but, those suspiciously cheaply made textiles from the Confederate States. Like, you know, like, we basically just outsourced our slavery to, the Confederacy.
Well, I mean, it's still, not much has changed if you think about it. I mean, not slavery, but, you know, like, we still got sweatshops. It's like, yeah, sweatshops are bad, but, you know, I'll take that for, like, $2.95, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Smash cut Rick and Morty quote, that's just slavery with extra steps.
Yeah, it's not like slavery, but people still buy in sweatshop items because they're cheap. Like, yeah, sweatshops are bad. That's really cheap though, so I think I'll buy that. Like, you know? The
Alex, quick question.
People just care about, themselves. Most of them.
Quick question, Alex. Was this guy just coming at me with a level 3 Bellsprout?
Yeah, I think this tower was supposed to not be fought with a level 13, but here we are.
Oh, Alex,
wow.
I think you're here.
Oh, yep, that's looking like me.
Either that or fucking Knuckles.
You know, kind of from the back, I could buy that being Knuckles, you know?
Fucking Knuckles. You're indeed skilled as a trainer. As promised, here is your But let me say this. You should treat your Pokemon better. The way you battle is far too harsh. Pokemon are not tools of war.
Like, even his model doesn't look like a dude. Look at him!
I know!
Looks like he got fucking like, what the fuck is this? He claims to be the Elder, but he's weak.
He's the Elder Butt. B-U-T-T, Butt.
The Elder Butt. It stands to reason. I'd never lose to fools who babble about being nice to Pokemon. That's such a weird thing to say. I only care about strong Pokemon.
Oh, alright, specifically that douchebag from that one episode of the Pokemon animated series where he left his Charmander out to die in the rain.
Yeah, that can win. I really couldn't care less about.
I only care about Pokemon that can Surge win!
Does Pro ZD play douchebag number 3 in Pokemon? Couldn't care less about weak Pokemon. Like yours. What's the name of your Pokemon? Oh god.
Oh god, I forgot that we called it Alex and Woo.
We? There was no we in that. You're like, how's this? And I'm like, whatever. Okay, well now you get to fight the Elder. It's Elder fight time. Remember, kids, always beat up your elders.
It's a powerful painting of a Bellsprout. I don't think
that's a thing that could even exist, really.
So good of you to come here. Sprout Tower is a place of training. People and Pokemon test their bonds to build a bright future together. I am the final test. Allow me to check the ties between your Pokemon and you.
We're gonna do this the whole series, aren't we? That's just the thing that's happening.
Yeah.
There's just no real escape from that. This man has a blue hairline.
They all have.
No, some of them have red or green.
No, all of these monks have used the exact same model, and it's been that exact dude.
Yeah.
We've been fighting this one dude this whole time.
Do you think he's like Dolly? Like, did they clone him, dude? And if we go with the Bergara logic from the Bergara boys, they just come out baked.
Yeah, and also, we don't know what black holes are.
Yeah, what even are black holes, dude? And ghosts are real.
I just realized that Ryan Bergara is operating on the same intellectual level as the insane clown posse. Fucking magnets! How do they work? Like, that's his intellectual level.
Yeah, that's
real
the Ryan
rough.
energy.
Isn't that the BuzzFeed Unsolved drinking game? Just every time Ryan Bergara says that being said, take a drink.
If you want to be extra spicy, you can add whenever he wheezes in there as well. And then you're gonna be dead after one episode.
I can't remember what episode it was, but there was one episode where Ryan literally said, anyone playing the BuzzFeed Unsolved drinking game is gonna fucking die in this episode, because he said that being said, like,
and then, like, after the first couple times, like, Shane just goes, take a shot. Like, after he says it. Oh, God. I must have, did I tell you about the time where I was, there was this girl in my high school that I was debating with, because she believed in ghosts, but not aliens.
This motherfucker's got water gun. Okay, we're taking Toby Whooper.
Okay, there you go. But I told you about that, I think, right?
Yeah, you mentioned, like, she believed in ghosts, not aliens, which is the wrong way round.
Yeah, that is like, crazy to me. Like, there's still, like, a honestly pretty shocking amount of people that, I mean, A, you know, believe in ghosts, and B, for legal purposes, you know, none of my what I'm about to say reflects my opinions, that every psychic is like a fucking sham. Like, people still go to psychics, like, unironically.
Did you just say that, you don't want to say that all psychics are frauds? Is that what you just wanted to? Cool, hey guys, it's Ethan. All psychics are frauds.
Yeah, I mean, I highly doubt any psychic's gonna be watching this like, son of a bitch, get my lawyer on the phone. I don't think anyone's gonna say that, but like,
honestly,
like,
you know,
it's
the thing is,
baffling to me.
Honest to God, I think you are completely safe. So, I think there is no way to get in legal trouble for saying all psychics are frauds. It's only a problem if you say Geraldine Smith. That being said, Geraldine Smith of Wallaby Drive is a fraud. Like, that's what get you in trouble?
It's not like, you know, some psychics work, you know, others
psychics don't work.
Every fucking psychic on this planet is a fraud, okay? Like, straight up, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like, they're just not, okay? Like, fucking, oh my God, one of my favorite things was Harry Houdini and his wife traveling around the fucking world, just decrediting psychic after psychic, just completely fucking ruining them for basically just selling lies to people. I love that shit. You know about that, right?
Yeah. That was basically what he spent the latter half of his career doing.
Yeah, all he did was
he basically stopped being an escape artist and just went around dunking on psychics until he died.
Him and his wife, like, literally, like, just work together to just show that every fucking psychic is just a fraud. It's just the way you say things, the way you weave words together. And it's nothing. It's fucking air. Like, one of the most popular psychics in the U.S., God, I forget her name. She was in a JonTron video for the fucking Toys R Us store.
I think she's dead now.
She is
dead.
Which,
by the way, actually, you can't libel the dead. You can say anything you want about her. Yeah, you can't libel the dead.
Do you know what her name is?
No, I can remember fucking Yoni Jonsson, but I can't remember her fucking name.
Okay, hang on. Let me go
The
find
psychic
her
from the
real quick.
JonTron episode. Sylvia Brown.
Sylvia Brown. Like, one of the most popular psychics. Complete fucking fraud. She's like on a TV show, says to this woman's face that's asking about her daughter that was kidnapped, she says, "No, I'm sorry, your daughter's dead, she's in heaven." They later find the daughter alive. Like, how fucked up do you have to be to just fucking straight up just lie to people like that, dude? Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, it's that old phrase. Don't attribute to malice what can be better explained by stupidity. And in the case of, again, specifically psychics who don't charge anyone any money for their quote unquote services, there's a solid chance that they're just nuts. That they
of course. Dumb. But even then, like, I would still argue that it's harmful because it still perpetuates the idea that psychics are real, so then these people will go to other people that will charge money that do have malicious intent behind it, like, they want your money, for basically giving you nothing.
Alex, what did we call Gengar?
It's a good fucking question. Let's go on an explorative journey and find out. Call that Mind Flayer.
Look at that fucking picture.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. Like, this is before that they had specific images for all the Pokemon. I think that's just like the default for like ghost type.
And that's also explicitly a Gengar right there.
And it's also explicitly Gengar.
I don't care what anyone says, this is the same Pokemon because it loves us.
Yeah. I mean, are we gonna get ourselves another Sanzina? This is a real question. I forget what we were talking about before this. Oh yeah, psychics. Yeah, TLDR, don't do shit with psychics, they're all frauds.
Or crazy.
Or crazy, yeah. Well, I mean,
although technically that still makes them frauds, it's not an active...
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can make a broader statement. Everything psychics tell you in regards to psychic bullshit, it's bullshit. Either just a straight up lie or it's a truth by accident.
Yeah. They're either actively deceiving you unintentionally because they're dumb, or they've, like, fucking... A broken fucking clock is right twice a day.
I was literally gonna use that euphemism for that exactly. Like, it's like, you know, they might say something that ends up being true, but it's not like the thing where it's like it proves that psychics are right. Like, oh, dude, it's so my dad. Okay, you know what karma is, yeah?
I'm familiar with the concept of karma. It's basically a cosmic morality system, isn't it? Like,
yeah, basically. And my dad lives by it like a fucking code. And it's an annoying thing because I've had this discussion with him, and he is the man's. Don't get me wrong, I love him. The man's dense a little bit though, and it's like trying to argue that is insane because the problem with arguing karma is you can. No matter what happens in your life, right, from here on out, whether you do a good action or a bad action, later on in your life, unless you're gonna die right the fuck now, another good thing and another bad thing is going to happen to you. So whenever anything good or bad happened to you, you attribute it to a previous action, but that's gonna happen to you regardless. So it's not something that can just be straight up disproven, it's just like, logically, that's, you know, how life works.
It's the way a lot of these belief systems work. Is they're like self-proving because they can't disprove shit like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of this thing where it's just like just because you can't disprove it doesn't make it true, right? Can I prove to you right now that we are not living in a matrix? I cannot. Does that mean we are for certain? No! You know?
Yeah, it's literally, I can't remember the exact name for it, but it's one of the, like, logical fallacies.
Yeah.
Where it's just, you can't, by making a statement that's by definition impossible to prove or disprove, you've essentially done nothing, and there's no point talking about it.
Yeah,
because
it doesn't make
either
your
way, it doesn't change
feasible.
anything.
Yeah, it doesn't make your point more feasible that something cannot be 100% conclusively disproven. All that does is nothing.
That's literally, it's literally, that kind of thinking is literally what the flying spaghetti monster is a riff on.
Yeah, it's
because you can't prove that because much like you can't necessarily prove or disprove the existence of an all-powerful, omnipotent being that can hide its own existence and exists outside of reality. You also can't prove that that being isn't a giant plate of spaghetti with eyes.
Exactly, and it's like, this is one of the things I've told you many times. I don't like arguing with people. I'm not a very argumentative person. I'll try to just back out of arguments. When I see it's like, okay, neither of us are gonna change our point. It's done, you know. And one of the things that made me come to realize it is literally trying to argue that point with people who have that line of thinking, because you can never get anywhere in a discussion with someone like that. You can bring up fucking anything, dude. Like, you can, like, it's like, it can literally be as simple as, like, well, the sky is blue. Well, we perceive it as blue. That doesn't make it blue, though. It could be red, and so it's like, listen, I'm not fucking going down this road with you, you know? Like, it's just, everything can be debated if you have the line of thinking. It's like, well, you can't prove it 100%. Well, no. So then it could be. No! That's not how it works!
Did you know that the Greeks did not say that the sky was blue?
What did the Greeks say?
They said it was bronze.
Why?
Because they just did.
Okay. Well, I thought I was really hoping there'd be more of that where you'd say some shit like, oh, well, when the sun is at a certain angle, that reveals kind of how the sky actually looks. So when you get that orangish color in the sky, that's the actual. I thought you were gonna hit me with some shit like that, and you're just like,
no. From what I remember, if I recall correctly, it's just because like it's just because they classified colors differently. So it's not that the sky was a different color. It's just that, like, you know how I think if I remember, I'm kind of trying to piece this together from a bunch of random bits of knowledge in the back of my head. But if I recall, you know how we have, like, we understand blue as like a central color, and then we have variations on blue that go in various directions. I think it was something like that, but their starting point was different.
Ethan, never have I heard an answer that has left me so unsatisfied.
Why did the Greeks say the sky was bronze?
According to first edition translations, it was bronze. Ancient Greeks were not colorblind, but instead of thinking in colors, they thought in a scale of brightness, and to them the sky seemed incredibly bright, just like shiny bronze plates.
That's actually rather interesting.
You know what else the Greeks did a lot? Sodomy.
I mean, hey, whatever you need to do, get the job done at the end of the day, you know? Didn't the Greeks also, not to take us down another rabbit hole of idiocy here, didn't the Greeks also, like, prove that the Earth was flat, or not flat, round as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just...
To be fair, though, the idea that most people believed that the Earth was flat for hundreds of years is nonsense. People have either known or not cared that the world was round for centuries. Thousands of years. So the fact that there's currently people who are like, checkmate globeheads is insane.
Yeah, it's... What it is like... this is another example of this. To get to that line of thinking, you have to actively deny, not disprove, because they don't disprove anything. You just actively discredit everything the entire world has done over the course of human history, and then you say, I'm gonna figure it out using myself and Googling very biased facts.
Okay, Alex, I need to tell you this, because this is relevant to flat earthers. I watched a video, I think it was by H-Bomber Guy, on, like, talking about flat earthers. Yeah. And in the video he mentions several videos by flat earthers where they basically say that you know how you get planes that like take weird stops to certain places before they go places. Like, I think it was like from South Africa to Australia, there's almost no flights that go direct from one to the other. And they like kind of go up like closer to Europe and then go back down. And you know, the reason for that is economics. There's not many people who are only going from like Johannesburg to Sydney and back again. Like, that's not like, so it's to make money. Like, a lot of flat earthers use the fact that they have these stops in other parts of the world instead of just being direct flights from Australia to South Africa as proof that the world isn't flat. Except that there are flights that go direct from South Africa to Australia. And do you want to know how the flat earthers deal with that? I don't think those flights are real. I think that they are lies. To trick us.
Was that
has
like
no one
subsect?
no one has ever seen these flights. There are videos of these flights. They do happen.
Subsects of flat earthers that said like Australia isn't real.
I don't know. I don't know if that's subsets of flat earthers or just sane people wishing.
Because I'll tell you what. This wasn't super recent, so my memory might be a little bit hazy on this one. But at one point in my life, I had gone down the rabbit hole of like, I'm like, surely, right? If there's this many amount of flat earthers, there must be some kind of like, at least somewhat intriguing lie to get people to this line of thinking. So I went down the rabbit hole and started watching like debates with flat earthers. I started watching like literally like, it's like flat earther videos on how the world works and shit like that. And some of the shit is like beyond my comprehension. So it's like they're talking about like you have like the model, right? The flat model of the earth. The sun is at the top of it, and it doesn't go like around the disc, like, you know, like under it and back up. It goes in a very specific circle around the outer part of the disc, so that like as it rotates around, that's why the sun comes up in different areas, which of course, that alone, that model already has a billion different things wrong with it. And then my favorite part of it comes up. If that's how that works, is gravity not a thing? And their like response, or at least the guy that I was watching, his response to gravity was just like, well, we don't fully understand it yet, but we believe it has something to do with electromagnetivity that keeps us all grounded to the planet. And I'm just like, it's
what happened?
It's like fucking magnets, bro. I guess like it's like the most favorite cop-out answer, you know?
My favorite thing about flat eartherism is my two favorite things. One leads into the other. Is how they explain the poles. Which is that the planet of the disc, I guess, is surrounded by giant ice walls.
Yeah, no, I've heard this one. And it's like, it's government restricted territory. They can't go in there.
And it holds the water in. And again, in this same H-Bomber guy video, he made a fantastic point where it's just like, does that mean global warming is like a lot worse? Because if the ice walls melt, then the water falls out. We all.
Do you think that model has gotten flat earthers more concerned about climate change?
Well, no, because the thing is that like, it's rare that someone believes in one conspiracy theory.
I guess
conspiracy theorists almost are. Once you start going down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole and actually believing that mental shit, you start buying into like a lot of it.
Well, here's the thing though that I want to make very clear. It's the thing with that is there are some conspiracy theories that are more grounded in reality. There's feasible like motives and evidence behind them. That doesn't necessarily suggest this is what's happening. It suggests that it is a viable, like, it's in the realm of possibility. I don't think all conspiracy theories are complete garbled nonsense, but there have been at least a few where it's like, there could be some grounds for it, but, you know, most of them are like, the Earth is flat, the entire world, all the world's governments, and all of human history has colluded together, to trick the entire populace into thinking the world was round. For some reason. For some hidden gain to it, I guess.
It's because... Alex, you know the problem? You know what the problem is?
What?
Alex, I've got a guilty conscience. We have to come clean. Guys, we're part of the conspiracy. We're here. We were like
shit.
We were paid by
paid actors.
We're paid actors. Paid by Hillary Clinton.
What's some other? Well, I mean, I was personally, I was paid by Obama. It was pleasure.
Yeah, actually, you know what, guys?
I honestly, he was so fun to be around. I offered to do it for free.
You know what, Alex? I have to actually come double clean now, and this is actually me coming clean to you as well. Because you know you're sat across from me in this room, yeah? You know, you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can very barely see over the can of Tango Apple, and now Monster's been accumulating in here now.
Actually, Alex, I'm gonna reach over and just I'm reaching over I'm reaching over the cans of Monster. Okay, and you can feel my arm there, and just like there, you just touched my arm, so now you know that's proof. Ignore the difference in audio quality. That was definitely Alex hitting my arm.
No, that was me.
That was you,
both our mics are pretty good. I don't know how drastic the difference is, but you know.
Anyway, I'm gonna take off my mask because I've been wearing a mask this whole time, and I'm sorry, Alex.
Oh my God.
We've actually met before. You remember that I paid you with one of the Chaos Emeralds to...
I thought you were gonna be like, I'm taking off my mask. I'm actually an Argonian.
I'm gonna take off my mask to reveal that I'm Mr. Society.
Oh God. But you see, not to bring us back to it, but like now I'm a very one-track minded guy, and once we start talking about something, I can't get it out. One of my favorite parts of it, okay, about flat Earth in general, is the why explanations to it, right? Because it's a whole conspiracy, it's meant to hide it from you. Why? What could possibly be the benefit?
I don't want to Google it.
Yeah.
I was about to Google it, but then I realized that will fuck my YouTube.
Because all of the answers are going to be insane. Like, what purpose could the entire world powers as a whole, granted, we can't get along as species, yeah? Fucking everyone hates each other, but for this explicit purpose, all of the governments have banded together in one act of just this mutual cooperation to hide the fact that the Earth is flat. What possible reason could there be for that? And every why answer I've heard is just as stupid as the theory itself. They can't give a why answer because it's nonsensical.
Hey Alex, I'm gonna tell you about a conspiracy theory that I low-key wish was real. Well, no, not so much wish was real, but more, it's just something I don't get why it's perceived as a bad thing. And that is the idea of a new world order, making a one-world government. And I'm like, okay, but why is that bad?
Honestly, yeah. Like, fucking everyone getting you... Well, the thing is, it depends, kind of, right? Because ideally, you at least want to be under a world order that isn't completely fucked.
Yeah, because it's normally presented as the idea of a one world government is inherently bad. And I'm like, yeah, but why? What's wrong with a one? Like, have you seen any science fiction setting? Like, it seems like the ideal is a one-world government at some point. Because ideally, the way a one-world government would be structured is essentially like a body that's like real big picture dealing with all that shit, but then like increasingly devolved local governments dealing with individual provincial issues. Which would be not only the ideal situation, but the only fucking way that could possibly work.
Yeah. Also, I did a brief lookup. I'm not gonna find it because it's such a specific thing. But like, fuck, like if I might do some quote unquote research just so I can like hear some of the why answers again, because like that is there is no, how do you answer that, Ethan? Like, pretend for a second, right? Put on your best acting impression. If you were a flat earther, how the fuck could you explain that?
Well, Alex, I know how we solve this. And I need you to
I need to come clean. I've been a flat earth this whole time.
No, I am the flat earth. No, you need to get Walker on the horn and get his tinfoil hat on.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, my man can do some fun conspiracies. The thing is, though, sometimes my favorite thing. So Walker is one of our D&D players, and we've dubbed him the conspiracy theorist.
We do not need to tell people who Walker is if they're this far into the shit we've done. How many times have we fucking mentioned Walker?
That's true. He's the conspiracy theorist of the group. Yeah. My favorite thing about
here's
him
a cut to him literally wearing a tinfoil hat he brings to all of our D&D games.
Yeah, we memed it out enough, and he's memeing right along with us. I fucking love it, dude. He's great. My favorite thing about it is he comes up with a lot of conspiracy theories about like what's happening in the D&D campaign. And it feels like almost every time, most of it is complete batshit crazy nonsense, but sometimes he stumbles upon a hint of truth and then goes off the fucking rails. Or like, somewhere along the rails of insanity, there is like one piece that's kind of true, and then it just keeps going, flying off the cliff, you know? Like, almost every time, there's usually like a piece of what he says that is like applicable, but never, not even, I would say, a quarter of it is usually.
Hey, Alex? Rocky isn't doing anything I tell him to.
Oh, you know why? It's because he, like, so, I think this is when they started introducing, relationships with your Pokemon. If your Pokemon don't really like you, they won't listen to you, and you build your bond up by winning battles with your Pokemon, and you lose that bond by having them faint in battles.
Oh, he's being shitty because he fainted a few times.
Yeah, so, like, basically, you just need to make sure, like, you just start, like, winning more shit with him, and he'll start, like, because it's not a guarantee, it's only a chance that he won't do what you're saying, basically.
He ignored, like, 5 moves in a row in that fight.
No, I saw that, but it's still chance, it was just unlucky. But basically, by the time we get, even, like, a quarter of the way through this game, that's gonna be a complete non-issue, unless we get a new Pokemon, but that is a thing that can occur in this one that I don't think the other one had. Like, no, just fun facts. Anyways, so boy howdy, man, this has been a really ranty episode. I'm sorry, I don't normally go off this hard, but some shit makes me mad, and I don't like talking about it, because then people start arguing with me, and it's like, when I get into those kind of arguments, those are the people I can't argue with, and it just, I don't like it. I don't like it, man.
The reason that
okay, stop. I need to take off this fucking Weevil body pillow from our messages. I can't look at this shit anymore.
No,
sorry, continue.
No, you need to send that to me because I have to put it in the video later.
Okay, hold on, let me get it again. You literally type in Weevil Underwood on Google, and you know like how they show 4 pictures at the top when you're searching all? It's literally one of the 4 pictures.
But
I'm sending it back to you because I'm a good boy.
Alex,
and I'm gonna be trauma. What?
the reason
Oh god,
that
I gotta close this
the
fucking window
reason-
right now. Oh god!
the reason that there's this global century-spanning conspiracy to lie and claim that the Earth is round instead of its real shape, that is flat, is to support globe manufacturers.
Okay. Don't mean to cut you off. I think I need to bleach my eyes now.
So Alex, what did we learn today?
If you go on Google and you type in Weevil Underwood, don't click that picture and don't look at related results.
Yes. Checkmate, globe heads!